Leon 1. Whoa. Hey. You there? Hello. Hello. Calm down. It's May 1st. May 1st. Top of the first day of the month, 2018. You're here at Microraver Builds. Maschinen Krieger Ma.K WIP. Work in progress of the Maschinen Krieger world. For those of you not familiar with Maschinen Krieger. Oh, what am I working on? Yeah, I think I told you yesterday that, I'm pretty much done of the winter meat kit now, and yeah, moving on to the camel build. Maschinen Krieger. You're Maschinen Krieger.
Battery is about full.
Good for you, battery. Now if I turn you off, let's conserve energy. Yeah, here we are. Maschinen Krieger with WIP daily live stream. It's allergy season, folks. Excuse me. Oh, hay fever. Whatever you want to call it. Be hay fever. Could be any number of allergic reactions to our environments. Hey, could it be all the... No, you know what? I haven't been using glue. I don't use that much glue with these kits. How about you guys? Anybody out there building these things? When I first started, I used a lot of glue for some really weird reason. I thought you don't need a lot of glue. These things kind of snap together, and a few times I needed glue. And if you've ever built Gundam, you don't use any glue at all, which you probably should. Anyway, the thing about the glue, though, there are a lot of, not a lot, but there are enough moving parts in here that you should be aware of what to glue and what not. And these things are kind of semi-static. You can pose them, which is good to know. Good to know. Good to know. Not really much going on in terms of show and tell this morning. I didn't do too much on the Gladiator or the Wintermute kit. Just kind of, took a little break from it. Been going pretty hardcore on the stuff. I still haven't really, I'm not afraid to do the aging, weathering on the body of the Gladiator. Just haven't done it yet. That's okay. Wow. So let's take a look here. What to talk about? Well, I guess this is a little bit of a change up from, well, not really. I don't know if I didn't put a card up there. I'm not quite sure how this whole format is going to go. I ran out of things to unbox, or there's nothing really left to look at unboxing wise. So I suppose that aspect of this live stream has come to a close. But I might actually look at the WIP review, I think, is important to me. Important to me. The work in progress review, kit review, because I don't want to have I don't necessarily focus completely on Maschinen and Krieger stuff necessarily, because in fact, you know, a lot this Maschinen and Krieger probably did start out, you know, as a mix up, as a mashup of World War II kits versus meet sci-fi futuristic kind of storyline. So there you go. That was so many years ago in the 80s. Thing of beauty. You know, you look at this nice drawing, and it's reminds me of some kind of a bug. There's always a bug-like, very, how do you say it? Organic. Yeah, well, robots in themselves are, don't want to use the term anthropomorphic. I hate that word, anthropomorphic. Organic. Nah, this thing looks like it's like a living animal. It looks like an animal. Like I said, Hasegawa has gone ahead and put their style, I guess, on it. What did I have from Hasegawa lately? I think it was the Tico kit, wasn't it? Was it not? Anyway, so yesterday I got into the building of the legs. It's true, and the instructions are dense, yes, but very clearly laid out and in English and in Japanese. So these things are going together. Thing of beauty. You know, the more I put these things together, I'm thinking about them in terms of, well, imagine if you had to make these, you know, on a 3D printer and have them working. Forget it. How do you get them? How do you get something to this? How would you prototype this? That's a good question. Yeah. You know, would you sculpt that? Oh, you probably get, well, you know, actually you get a high grade print. I think they're not as expensive, not into the tens of thousands as they used to be. I think we're into for a small part, probably $150 to get that. So what you do is you design it in a 3D program perfectly, once you have your dream, and then you make a 3D high grade. I would make a 3D high grade of this whole kit, put it together, see if it worked, find all the problems, and engineer it, and then you go to a model, I guess. Then you got to figure out how to put it on a, you know, efficiently on a sprue that fits in a box. But if you've got a whole mechanism, a whole factory, a whole army of people that do this on a daily basis for 30 odd years, how long has this company been alive? They got the know-how, man. They got the means. In the big leagues now, baby. Look at that. You know, if you Instagrammers have probably seen this already, but I got to admit, there's some pretty high-grade molds going on here. What we got here is the little tiny bolts that were molded right into the styrene. And I guess when you need them, you just cut them off with an X-Acto knife and stick them on where you need them. Cool. I haven't even read that part in the instructions, and I see the thoughtfulness of the design. And now you look at these sprues, and this is, I guess if I could compare the Wave kit and the Hasegawa kit. They're both of high quality. So Sensei Yokoyama's very demanding levels of production. You know it. So just looking at the sprues, zero flash on any of the parts. Oh, yeah, just look at that. God, gorgeous plastic I see in front of me. Well, the more you see all kind. I'm glad I went out and bought a whole bunch of different kits. Everything from Minge, Trumpeter, you name it, I got it. Revel in your time. Yeah, I think I bought one Revel/Monogram kit. It was my first and last. Whoa, that thing. What a challenge. Anyway, I should show you that tank one day. The build went well. Well, I shouldn't say it went well, but I started to think about maybe slowing down a little bit on the build because of some, wouldn't say necessarily bad molds. Here I was just raving about how great the molds were, and then next line, totally diss it. But there were nubs. No, actually, how do I say what I was doing? I would say there was like a so hard to. Well, that looks good. Here, maybe if I show you before and after, you'll see what I mean. Before and after. So on the right, since I have to make two of these, two legs, you'll see a very slight imperfection left by just using your clippers. And so on the most part, I'll usually model tips. You can see here, typically you'll end up with, this type of thing in a clamshell construction, and this, the seam line, and this is with zero finishing on this one right here. But because I was seeing what a beautiful shape, I don't know, it's just nice. I went in and just did a so quick sanding job, and there you go. You can just barely see it in the shadow there. What was left? Oh, it's there. That shadow that is quite prominent. These things do show up. So anyway, this I do believe is going to might be buried in something. So yeah, it took me all of what 30 seconds to get rid of that seam line with a nice sanding. You see that way over there? Yeah, that thing. That is that's the sanding. That is the very tool I used to achieve this in 30 seconds. That. So a little bit of sanding. Do I pre-do it? Yeah, I think you should think about what's going to be seen, and at least if you want. No, I didn't do it all. So it's a bit of the thing. Whatever you do, there are definite, how do you say it, beauty spots for your kit, and there are definite spots that will never be seen. And I am of the philosophy of, if you ain't gonna see it, don't bother. If you might see it, then maybe think about it, and try not to bone yourself by gluing shit together that you can't take apart without destroying the model. There, how about that? That's kind of a weird philosophy. I'm sticking to it. If you ever pin me on that, I'll say, remember I said May 1st. I laid it all out in my manifesto. Get it? Manifesto. The Krieger. Approaching Krieger. That's the name of my documentary. It's called Approaching Krieger. Where you ask modelers, why did you choose the Maschinen Krieger as your subject matter? I think you'd come up with a really interesting collection of answers. Such a whacked out, bizarre world. Look at the. Oh, I want to delve into this card. I kind of, right now as it stands, not to say it can't change, and especially with those other guys too, those other, the Wintermute kit, I could change it, but as it stands now, I haven't even built the thing, but I'm already considering its, look at this. Yeomanry Regiment, 3rd Ground Attack Company. Wow, okay, it's got the blue markings. It has definitely got the blue markings. Now this Regimental Space Combat Team. Now this is it's a white body. There with F. Huh. This one's got some kind of red mottling. Anyway. Oh, look, this is colored down here. Oh, this. That's a cool one. It looks like a fish. A lot of these they're like painted up to look like this one, especially looks amphibious. Man, it looks like it's my T-Rex. I put little arms down there. That one is just cool. It is just coolness. Why wouldn't you use an animal? Animal coloration is definite camouflage. It's the ultimate natural camo. In fact, we should be mimicking animal camouflage. Think about it. You know, butterflies, their wings. You think, oh, they're so colorful. They stand out, but in fact, they blend in. They look like a flower. I don't know. So yeah, maybe this one at this point. The decals. Lots of decals for this one. Oh. What? You're kidding. 20 minutes? 20 minutes almost has elapsed in blabbing about the camel build? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's neat. What other neat parts? Speaking of neat. So like I said, I was finish up. I built out the legs. So where should I be tomorrow? Oh, tomorrow shall bring us. I got as far as, I kind of taped it together at this point. This one's about to fall apart, but that was when I noticed last night the kind of nubs showing up in maybe a place that would be seen. So this thing looks like that, and they show it in left and right sequence, of course. Built 2 out, and there's a lot of no gluing. Yes, the pictures. Always good to have great instructions. I'm going to guarantee a good build with a good set of instructions. And, you know, somebody has spent the time. And not only do you have instructions, you have your good old common sense, right, folks? Good old modeling wherewithal. You have been here before, and you can look ahead. Yeah, it's kind of a fun part. It's an aspect of the hobby. I've asked a few of my fellow modelers, and they've said, yeah, I hate building. I hate building. I just love painting. I just love painting. But the one guy just loves photo etched parts, and probably likes building a lot more than the other guy, who I don't know how much photo etch he uses. And anyway, he came in wounded, the poor guy. Anyway, it happens. Please be safe out there. We do use sharp tools to sculpt, I suppose, this plastic, but in whatever fashion. I think I've got one X-Acto knife over there, which I probably should have a safety cap on. I do not, but anyway, put your tools away, keep a clean and neat, tidy workspace, and you will help to eliminate mishaps and injuries and things that can stop you from getting into your build. All right, we've come to that time. Maybe I will do an unboxing. I'm going to take a break now. So here we go. 10 minutes. See you on the flip side. Okay, so here we are. We're back at the bottom of the hour for something. I guess I am going to call this. What am I going to call this thing? It's really looking at something I am not finished with. A WIP. Yeah, definitely a WIP. A work in progress. Well, I progressed pretty good on this guy. I don't know how many people out there are aware of the world. This is my one and only Italeri kit, a tank I picked up, and I was intrigued by the World of Tanks theme. So Italeri had picked up on a lot of the revived interest in their tank kits, I guess, by the video game phenomenon known as World of Tanks. And I think there are a number of tank games, not a number of, but what is the other one? War Thunder? Is that the other? Anyway, there were a series of kits, that have been released by Italeri. Italeri. I don't know how you say it. Italeri. And this is I picked up the M4 Sherman. Fury. Was this the Fury? No. From the online video game phenomenon, M4 Sherman Model Kit 1/35th scale, World of Tanks rollout. Sorry. Shed a little light on what I'm reading to you. It's just what it is. And really good. Well, what can I say about this kit? It had a real good instruction manual, very nice boxing and art, but the overall model itself. And there you can see their series. And as far as tank build-outs go, I'm sure this was an old kit model pressing. They just went so far as to provide new instruction manual to fit the theme and the boxing. But yeah, it had my feel was it was okay. I think I'd found some, somewhat suspect parts that were made here. Let's take a look at this guy. So getting into the build itself, or the finished model, not a huge tank building dude, but I did go so far as to get the tracks done. And here, maybe it's best to just see where I got. Where did I get, and why do I consider this unfinished? Some of you might say, hey, that's not too bad at all. Yeah. But I guess in terms of the camouflage, which I have not yet done and is shown there. Well, let's just bring you up to speed on what I did. And you can tell with these things. Whoa, I fucking forgot. Holy shit, I forgot I worked on the inside of this thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Here. Look, you see inside of this. Oh, yeah, I totally forgot. Yes, an inside working turret hull. And you can see the pivoting. I did an okay job. I was, how can you say it? This was probably the second model I had been working on. So, yeah, I used a gloss white. I had some issues in there. And it's one of those things with this build. I think once you've painted it, you paint it first and then you assemble it. And once you assemble it, she's done. She's together. And if you want to take this apart, you will have to destroy it. What else we got on the top here? Dust. Let's see, this has been sitting on the shelf. This came about maybe a year ago. Kind of got, you know, it's nice to look at these things, actually. It's the first time in a long time that I've actually gotten the light on this guy. And, oh, you know what? I shouldn't be too... Kind of left this one on the shelf. A little disappointed, yes. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. This thing, maybe it was something to do with the, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I had a lot of issues going on with this side skirt. Did not want to fit properly. And I had a lot of putty and issues. The track sucked. It's like this really stiff rubber, the plasticky thing, and it just doesn't look, it looks so fake. Fucking fake. So give that like a one on your track, Italeri, on your M4 Sherman. You know, I don't know what I paid for on this kit. Maybe about, I think it was up to the 50 mark, under the 50 mark, maybe $40, but still nothing to write home about, man. It's just probably your old tank here. Spent a bit of time working on the back. There are some details there. Yes, there are. But I went ahead and did my paint up of this. So anyway, talking free. What to do with this? Oops. How does this work? 90 degrees. So, oh, here's the figure that comes with it. Kind of looks like Charlie Sheen. And what's up with the friggin' two-finger salute? Looks like he's about to... Is that, you know, I painted this guy up and I'm thinking, what's up with the two fingers, dude? Is that some kind of like Italian salute? Anyway, he's still got a green hand. I have like just started on him and put him aside. Yes, this thing got shelved and I moved on to something else. But you might have seen this in the background taunting me. Is this picture of a tank, this drawing of a tank up here, and this is the camo scheme that I am going to do on it. So that's when this has happened, then I will be happy. Flat sand, flat olive drab. So I've got the flat olive drab, but it looks nothing near. It's so like dark compared to that sand color. I think that was what was kind of freaking me out, was, oh man, gotta get the colors right. Though I love these drawings. They are, I have to admit, pretty good. They fire up your painting imagination. That they do. You know, track looks normal in this drawing. Oh, fold again. Yeah. Hey, that's not what I got in the box. This, yeah, actual contents of the box may vary. But I don't know how I'm going to achieve that that camo. It's pretty sharp, right? The edges. So it looks like there was some kind of putty technique. Is there? I think there's a. Yeah, here it is. Here. There's an actual 3D drawing of the paint scheme of that. So there you go. Oh, and they have their whole series. Oh, look at that. World of Tanks acrylic set. Yeah, yeah. Please. So, oh, shit. Whoa. Winter camouflage. Oh, no. Sorry. I'm looking at this. How does this work? Oh, wow, neato. Now that I see this winter camouflage version of it, it just got me. Sorry, I thought that was a 3D version of that. In fact, they only have profiles for this camo scheme. The other ones are all done up in a 3D. Look at that cool one. Winter O2 camo. Summer camouflage. That's neat. And then, of course, the old faded whitewash winter camouflage. I'm a little bit tired of that whole whitewash thing. The Gladiator was enough for me on that. And yeah, and in the front here it is, just in this regular old olive drab army issue. I should be more excited. You know, maybe I wasn't excited. Maybe I was just more waiting until my painting skills got a little bit better with the camo before I tackled this one. It's a nice looking kit, actually. The more I look at this fellow, not kind of like the look at the Sherman, But in terms of, this was a Patton tank. This came out at the end of the war, 40s. So the French were developing tanks. No, there were a lot of the Allied forces that were developing tanks. Now the thing about the Sherman, I think look at how high that profile is. Why did tanks nowadays are probably what? They barely, nice slow profile. You look at that T90 next to it. You compare those two. You can see how tank design has changed pretty quickly over the years. And this is still of the old style. That was a great movie. How many people here saw Fury? But there was a battle scene in there that showed one of these M4s getting it in the, or was it a Panzer? Anyway, it showed a tank getting one clearly right through the hull, and it left it was interesting to see. It had left a straight out hole in the rear of the tank in a flat spot. You think to yourself, yeah, or here even, how flat the sides of these this armor is. And so if it gets a hit on the side, it does not have that high chance of ricochet. So there's a lot. I think I read somewhere about tank armor angles, that after a certain time they developed more angles on the sides of the tank to aid in deflecting shots. Yeah, evolution, mechanical evolution, right there. Form follows function. And simplified warfare. Not much damages a tank on the battlefield, i.e. infantry, artillery. Well, yeah, direct hit, but other tanks. So these things become definite mechanisms of mobile armament death, heavy armor. This is the HAFS. This is the actual real version of it. The thing with 4 legs over there I was building, now that is somebody's crazy idea of what, what a tank in the year 2885 would look like. A heavy armored fighting suit. Hell yeah. I just wished I had this tank in 120th. Wouldn't that be neat? But nope. Gotta blow this tank up a little bit. No, don't blow it. I mean, how would you could get it right. I could use this tank in a photograph if placed in a properly scaled out maquette area, right? And then you place that, I guess, in the shot. Those things only work for a static shot or a shot that doesn't have, it could probably work for certain angles. And in the foreground, like this could be a background. Oh yeah. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud about the movie, the Maschinen Krieger movie. I have running in my head. Well, so I guess I've spoken enough about the Italeri M4 Sherman work in progress review, and not really an unboxing because all the sprues have been cut out, glued, and put together to make this thing. I don't have any photographic evidence of this build out or anything on this. I don't think. Somewhere there's a little bit of my struggles. I think with great shame I hid them. But my model making skills, I think, have gotten a little bit better over the last 24 months, I guess. I never really looked closely at the dates, but I'd say it's been about a year. Oopsies. Okay, I'm going to clean up here and do a little whippy whip. Testing, 1, 2. No, that's probably not the best way to put it here. How about we put it like that? Probably a lot better sound if I actually put this darn microphone where my mouth is. And yes, use a microphone. Here, let's look at the little tiny pieces of plastic I'll be gluing together. Yeah. Oh, I gotta have us sit down on the lowdown with the hoedown of lowdown. What do we got here? Well, studio lighting. Focus. it does focus eventually. Okay. What am I doing here? A lot less messier than... Okay, these are the two parts I built. Oh, yeah. Here are the two knuckles I built. Whatever those things are. And this is the said part I was talking about. That was weird. Did you? I heard that. That's... Okay. Anyway, boom. So, what am I doing with this? Oh, yes. Always good to look at the instructions. Right. Here. Oh, yes. Oh, these are these. This is an actual mechanism that had a lot of slide. With this, it's... I remember from last night, it's best to... I'm not going to glue this together yet. Carefully make sure you have this oriented right. Do not cement. And these things have been built out. Okay, so the way I did it last night, I put this together. Did not. So they have pins. Okay, there you go. So halfway. Just to keep it aligned. This was a bit of a challenge. So if you can see, I kind of halfway got it. Then this slid in here. Oops. There. Oh, no. Fuck. Age restricted, right? Fuck me. Fuck you. Fuck you. Motherfucker. Okay, here you go. And then this. How does this go? It goes like this. Yeah, I already built one, so it's good to have that as reference. And then these things slide in here. So yeah, holding that together. Oh, fuck. Sorry? Where the hell does that go? Yes. Oh wait, sorry. Idiot. There, on this side like that. Boom. There. There. Oh, make sure, and that's why I have the green tape there. Make sure there. I don't want it. That's supposed to lay flat. Oh, how did that work? You see that? I don't want to break this little piece of plastic off. There's definite movement. I think it slides to a degree. What does this thing do in here? It's supposed to go... How did I get that? Oh, look, you're looking at the backs of my hand. Sorry, folks. I gotta keep the cameraman. I don't have a cameraman, and I'm not looking at the monitor, so I'm looking at this. See what I'm talking about here? This thing's got to... Just out of curiosity, I'm going to examine how this mechanism is supposed to actually work. Oh. Well, theory is you don't glue it. Okay. Now, like that. No. Okay. That's the... Do you see what I'm talking here? Can you see that? I don't know. So I'm assuming this thing pivots in this hole here. right down here, and then this sits in here like that, and then when it rotates up and down, that's all. There's limited movement. I would say 0, 5, 10, 15. 15 degrees of movement. Okay, 15 degrees of movement in there. So that's that one. And then down here, what I'm doing, folks, is just showing you the range of movement of some of these parts. So I would assume on the bottom one, if you can see that, this slides like that. How far? Here. No, it only, see, it only pivots out a very slight amount, you know. This one is more of a, about moving vertically like that, or like in that direction. It's slotted to move this way, sideways. And there is a little, like here at that angle. No, the way that's built, I would say that this thing is meant to slide, and it doesn't come out very much there. So anyway, let's put this together and tape it up. Where's my green tape? Hopefully this microphone setup was working okay. Still messing around with the audio. My apologies. We will get it right. I do not have any headphones in which to listen to this. And now that I have put this together a few times, I know what I'm doing. Really, I do. Put that here. There you go. Put that on later, and then this goes in like this. Oh, sorry. This goes in like that. Correct. Let's tape this. Oops. Bop. This whole falling apart thing reminds me of my Gundam days. There. Oh, shit. I hate that snapping. Snap. But it's okay. That was a good snap. That was a snap of things falling into place. Oh, I like the sounds of that. Do you hear that? What? That snapping noise. I think it came from inside my head. What? Actual quote. Quote unquote. I didn't say that. No, I did not say that. Ever. There you go. Sorry. Camera, show the... So the close-up is killing me here. It's wide out. We're getting near the end anyway here. Boom, 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 boom. Legs are being built. I see legs. I see legs. That wasn't too bad. So, there you go. That was the little work session down there. This wasn't a bad show today. How would you rate it? If you guys have seen this, there was a fair amount of information disseminated. There was tank kits talked about. There was Maschinen Krieger talked about. There was, I don't know, lots of things talked about, thought about, rolled around, ground up, chewed up, sped out. Oh, all right. Maybe it's time. What can I say? Oh, we all know that sound. Oh, we all know that sound now. Do we know that sound now? What did that lady say? We heard the lady. We heard the lady, and she said... Okay, I think I'm going to wrap it up tonight. That's pretty much it for today's May 1st, 2018 daily live stream of the Maschinen Krieger work in progress build out of the LUM-168 CAMEL. And it looks like absolutely nothing. We know that. It's little bits of plastic at this point, but there's a great future in store for for all of these sprues. You see these sprues? That's just some of them. They're here waiting to be clipped out. They're waiting to be snapped together. They're waiting to be pieced and built and grown into this wonderful whatever. That is pretty much it. Thanks for coming out. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and like if you like. Bye-bye.